I did. Yeah. You felt it?
Yeah, man.
Is that your first one?
Yeah, well, I've been here for like 8 years, and I haven't felt any, but I felt these past two big time.
Did it scare you?
I was telling you, it kind of like checked me, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, God could just come and do just like that, you know?
Did it make you want to go back to Texas?
No, because we got tornadoes in Texas.
Oh.
Yeah.
Which would you prefer, a tornado or earthquake?
Probably, I don't want either.
But if you had to take one?
Probably an earthquake. I don't know. Tornadoes kind of gave me a little PTSD in Texas growing up.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they messed up our town big time back in the day. Just obliterated half of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you prefer an earthquake or a tornado?
Earthquake, because in an earthquake you could like run outside and dodge trees, you know. Dodge, like, trees fall.
You sound like Joel. That's what he said too.
Dodge.
But with an earthquake, you really can't go nowhere. If you go outside, you can have a tree fall on you or light pole or something, wires. But with a tornado, at least you can go underground, right?
Oh yeah.
You could go in a cellar. Yeah,
Right.
something like that.
But you can't do that with an earthquake.
Guess not.
Usually, earthquake, you know.
Good morning. Welcome to church. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Happy 4th of July and happy White History Month. July is White History Month. July just feel white. Doesn't July feel white? I showed that to some friends at the gym. It started the worst mess. What do you mean July feel white? It does. But happy 4th. You can get involved by going to my YouTube channel at rebuildingtheman.com/church, and I can answer your questions. Good morning to everybody here again. Morning. I'm glad to see all you. Happy 4th of July and happy White History Month. How's it going? How's your 4th going so far?
Very well. Oh, thank you. It was good.
What'd you do?
We barbecued.
Oh, you
with
did?
People here, yeah.
Right on.
Yeah,
You had fun?
Yeah.
Right on.
Then I went to work.
And are you celebrating White History Month?
I guess I haven't thought about it.
So what?
I haven't thought about it.
You haven't thought about it? Why not?
I've been too busy.
Oh, to think
Yeah.
about White history?
I appreciate it though.
What are you doing so busy that you can't think about White history the whole month?
Well, I've been working a lot.
I'm sorry?
I've been working a lot.
Oh, okay. All right. I understand it. Are you celebrating White history?
Yes, I have a Facebook group called the Conservatives of Westminster, and I posted a couple videos on there. That's my
Oh.
way of celebrating, is kind of passing it along.
I wore my White history shirt on the radio and to the gym. And one black guy told me, somebody's going to kill you. I'm like, why would they want to kill me over White history? I have a right to celebrate White history. They're going to kill me. He told me that. And he was cursing. Okay. So the president celebrated White history by having a major parade on the 4th of July. And it reminded me of when I was growing up in Alabama. And I remember when we got our first black and white TV. At the time I was on the plantation. And they finally ran some electrical wires down the road. And so we was able to get a TV. And I used to see white people celebrating the 4th of July like the president did. I was like, wow, that's so nice. I want to do that when I was a little kid. And so when he did it this past 4th of July, it just reminded me of those days when we weren't so crazy in America. It just kind of brought America back, I thought. You know what I'm saying? Anybody watch it?
I watched a little bit.
What did you think about the whole event?
I thought it was great.
You did?
Yeah.
And
I
what'd
thought
you
it
like
was
about
wonderful.
Yeah. And what'd you like about it?
I Well, I think I remember hearing something about them saying that, I don't know, I think it was on CNN. They were complaining and griping like women, and, they're, oh, he didn't say this, he didn't say that. Well, there's a time and place for everything, and what he was doing was just celebrating our country and our independence.
Yeah.
And that's all he was doing, and I thought that was, he didn't try to kowtow to people and use that opportunity as a
Right.
means to, tug at people's hearts. He wasn't trying to use the situation to manipulate anyone's thoughts. He just wanted to celebrate our country and show our greatness, and that was it. And I thought
It
that
was
was
nice
perfect.
to see the country come together
It
like
was
that.
really nice.
It was really
Yeah.
refreshing.
It was great.
It's like, it was so nice.
It was amazing.
It was amazing. That's right. Did you, this your first time here? Oh, hold on for the mic. Is this your first time?
Yeah. this
What's
is
your
my first-
name, your first name?
My name is Frankie.
And so Frankie, meet Frankie. Frankie the Mexican.
All right.
So, did you celebrate 4th of July?
I was just I worked the whole 4th of July, and I just was, after work, I was tired. I just went to sleep.
Oh, I don't blame you.
Yeah.
And how about White History Month? Are you celebrating July as White History Month?
I didn't even know that was a real thing, actually. Like, I didn't even know about that.
Yeah, this is our second year. I started it last year in July.
Oh, you made this up? Uh-huh. Okay. Oh, I actually thought it was a real thing.
It is a real thing.
Okay.
When you say a real thing, what do you mean?
Like, I really thought it was just like Black History Month, like the whole little.
We were better than Black History. We had a parade.
Oh. Wow.
So what do you think about the idea of White History Month?
Yeah, it's cool. I think all ethnicities need a month.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of them.
The gay people have 2 months.
Oh, yeah.
Did you know that? They have
Yeah.
June and October. Isn't that amazing?
Man, they have 2 months. That's cool.
Any questions for me? It's your first time.
No, I'm just here to learn.
And how did you find us?
My friend recommended me here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did you go and forgive your mother yet?
Forgive my mother?
Yeah.
For what?
For messing you up.
How did she mess me up?
Do you have anger?
Not really. I've been controlling it. I've been getting rid of it
By doing what?
through Jesus. Through Jesus Christ. He's helped me like get rid of most of my anger, and it's awesome.
He's helping you get rid of most of it?
Most of it.
By
yeah.
doing what?
By
What is Jesus doing?
just in prayer, like just in prayer when I pray about like the things that would get me angry, like I would get peace. Like Jesus would give me some peace.
How old are you?
I'm 21.
Oh, okay. Millennial, right? Millennial. And so, Z?
Oh,
Are you a Z?
I never really studied that whole
Yeah,
that whole generation.
that's white
stuff.
folks stuff. I haven't either. I
Yeah.
just heard about it. So listen, so Jesus is helping you get rid of some of it, and you have peace.
Yeah. Like it's always peace when I go to Jesus. Go to the Lord with everything.
And then the anger come back later.
Not really. It's usually when I slip in my walk is when the anger comes back.
Slip in your walk. What
Right.
do you mean?
Like, it's like usually when I fall off the narrow path. That's when.
What's the narrow path that you've fallen off?
Like the narrow path of being a disciple of Jesus Christ, like staying on that narrow path.
And what causes you to fall off at times?
Oh, just like certain things in life, like, 'cause I'm not perfect yet, so I'm like trying to reach that that perfectness, always striving to get there.
And so what causes you to fall off the narrow path?
Oh, just like life, like just things in life like traffic.
The
Yeah.
traffic caused you to fall off?
Like, sometimes I get like road rage or something. And,
Oh, I saw you on the news, right?
oh,
No.
no.
No, I'm messing with you. Do you believe it's possible to be perfect and always have peace?
That's a good question. I don't really know yet, but I definitely feel like we should try to be perfect, like how God is. Like we should try to be we should try to be perfect, and God gives us peace, and I don't know, there may be times where the peace may not always be there, but God will always give us peace.
And so when you say try to be perfect, what should you do to try to be perfect?
Oh, you said what should I do to try to be perfect?
Yeah.
Just listening, letting the Holy Spirit guide you through life. Following what Jesus said. Being a follower of Jesus Christ and doing that the best you can.
And how do you follow him?
Well, just by believing in him, believing in what he's done, and
And how do you believe?
by having faith in what he's done.
And how do you have faith?
You have faith by fully accepting Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior,
And how do you do that?
by doing it.
This is so good. We can go home now. By doing it, you say?
Yeah.
And how do you do it?
By just making that choice in your heart to follow him, to be a disciple of Jesus Christ.
And did you make that choice?
I did, yes.
And so, go ahead.
Yeah, I did. But I still messed up a little bit, in following him. But sometimes sometimes I stop following him, but I always end up coming back.
Do you want to stop at times?
No, I don't.
But why do you then if you don't want to stop?
It's just bad habits that I have to fix. That God is working. God is he's working on my heart right now. Yeah.
You smoke pot?
Oh no, not anymore. I've been sober for a year and a half.
Oh, good for you,
No.
man. And
Yeah.
what made you stop?
Realizing that that we should be sober and vigilant because the devil roams around like a lion, seeking whom he could devour. So we have to be sober and vigilant. And I realized when I was smoking pot, it was like a form of drunkenness. It was like a form of intoxication.
And so what did you replace the pot with?
Jesus.
So you drank Jesus? You smoked Jesus?
No, it was just Jesus filled that up. Like he saved me from pot addiction. It was
And
awesome.
so Amazing, man.
Yeah, it's
So
awesome.
were you raised by your father and mother?
Yeah, but my mother, she passed away when I was 3.
Oh, and
Yeah.
who raised you after that? After she,
My dad, my whole life, and he recently passed away like 2 years ago.
were you close to him?
Yeah, my dad was like my best friend. He was
Right on.
awesome.
Good. So how did it feel knowing that your mother died at such an early age for you?
But yeah, it was something like, it was just like, just realizing that I didn't have what everybody else had. It was hard, but it was cool because
What is it that everybody else had that you didn't have?
like that everybody had that motherly love that I never really experienced. Everybody had that like that care that only a mother could show, you know.
You say that again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, it's cool though because you know, there was everybody else's mother was my mother, you know.
Yeah.
So it
Did your
was,
father get married again?
no, he never did.
And so were there other ladies around helping to raise you?
Yeah, it was like, yeah, there's like, I think there's a saying, it takes a village, like, you know, it takes a whole village of people to raise, you
So
know.
you really messed up then.
Yeah.
You went to Hillary's house. Let me ask, where was your mother's mother? Was she around? Or your father's mother?
Oh, yes. Yeah, she, both of them are still alive, actually. They're like 90 years old or something like that.
Did they help to raise you?
Yeah, I would go to my grandma's house on my father's side all the time. And then my grandma on my mother's side, I've only seen like twice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And so you don't know what caused you to become angry?
I think I know what, I kind of know what caused me to become angry. Like, I kind of know the roots and the sources of my anger.
What caused
And
you?
It was just like, it was just like, how to explain it? Like, it was really my fault, really. Most of it is my fault that I was so angry. It was just, I was trying to control the world instead of trying to like figure out instead of like figuring out how the world flows, I was trying to like get my way in the world, and I was also mistreated, but a little bit, but that doesn't matter. It was just little things, and just like little things in life that I allowed to affect me, and it grew. I just let little things in life like build up, and it grew, and that's where I made the mistake. I shouldn't have.
Can you give me
let
an
it-
example of a little thing that affected you?
Well, like a good example would be like traffic. Like instead of me accepting how the world works, every day I would be mad at traffic and start getting road rage, and I was letting that build up in me. Like I was letting the fact that there's traffic in the world affect me, and it was my fault because I was letting that build up inside, I was letting that anger build up inside of me instead of going to God about it and praying about it, and instead of like working around it and finding better solutions to the traffic, I was just like letting it affect me,
So how old were you when you first realized you had, how old were you when you became angry? When you first became angry, how old were you then?
Well, it was, It was like, I mean, I think it started when I was as young as I can remember. Like it started when I was like probably like 3 or 2 years old.
Were you driving then on the freeway?
Oh no, I wasn't driving at that age. But-
What made you angry at 2 or 3?
Oh, because my dad was he was dealing with a lot of like anger and stuff, and he would kind of take it out on like me and my brother, kind of like.
Yeah.
My dad's like anger energy was kind of like rubbing off on me and my brother, and I was like becoming, because we are just another version of our parents, really.
Yeah.
So just like the fact that my dad was so angry made me angry, because I was taking on, I was connecting to his mind, and I was like taking on my dad's anger and understanding what was making my dad mad. And it was kind of just like, that's kind of what started it off. Like my dad taught me anger in a way. And he would be like so angry sometimes that he would take it out on me and my brother, and that really affected me. Like,
Yeah.
it really affected
Are you
me.
surprised you became like who you were angry at? You became like him?
Right, yeah. I was surprised when I realized that, like, I became just like my dad, and yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And have you talked to him about it?
Yeah, before he passed, things were different. Like, yeah, before he passed, like a few months before he passed away, I was just like, I think like God just put it in my heart to talk to my dad, and I was like, Dad, please forgive me for, not being the best son. I was like, I forgive you for the mistakes you made, and we like just had a moment of like forgiving each other. And before he passed, I was like more like God was making me more wiser and I had more understanding, and I was diffusing the anger that me and my dad had in our relationship, and it was cool. It was nice.
Good, man.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
You're very interesting.
Thank you.
You got everybody's attention.
Yeah.
That is so interesting. I may have you on the TV show.
Oh, wow.
Would you come on?
Yeah, that would be cool. That would be really cool.
Okay. Well, that's good, man. Have you heard of my silent prayer?
I haven't.
I have a silent prayer video. I want you to start doing that. You still could do your hoop and holler to God, because, like however you do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Jesus, help me. Make sure the traffic die down. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mhm.
You say that to him, right? Make sure the traffic die down.
Yes. I pray about everything. Like,
Yeah. So you could do that, continue that, and then do the silent prayer. It'll show you what to do. And God will help you all the way.
It's almost like a prayer in your heart, like praying in your heart. Like
Well, the
in
Holy
your
Spirit
mind.
will pray for you. You won't have to say anything. He'll pray on your behalf. And then you'll just wake up completely. You'll be fine.
Wow. Okay. I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah, it's on the, where is it, James?
Silent prayer?
Yeah.
Got video.
Silentprayer.video.
Awesome. Okay.
All right? And then he'll bring you out of your imagination, and he will guide you with wisdom.
I like it.
Yeah, so give it a try, all right? I can tell you're on your way to it, that's for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, you really are. I'm glad you came, man.
Thank you. Thank
If
you so much.
anything pops up, let me know. Raise your hand, I'll come back to you.
Awesome. Okay.
Any questions about anything?
No, I'm just here.
Well, I'm glad your friend recommended you come.
Yes.
All right, is he here today?
No, he's actually a Jewish guy, and he's like he wants to stay in like his Jewish roots, so he doesn't want to mix with Christian and Jewish right now. But he'll come around.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're turning from a Jew to a Christian.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Anybody else with any? That was so interesting. That was so helpful. Anybody else with any question or anything? Oh, good. let's start here and we'll go around the room. And then I got to tell you something really nice. Yes.
So, I was listening to this interview. I believe it was with Billy Graham, and this question was, what would you tell your younger pastor version of yourself, right? What advice would you give? And he said that he would tell him to preach more on the cross of Christ and on the blood of the Lamb. Because he said that's where the power was.
Who said this?
Like Billy Graham.
Where's Billy now?
Yeah, is he still alive? No, he's dead. So
He
and-
what?
He's dead. But he did.
I'll rest my case.
He did.
He did.
And there's also this song that comes to mind, and it might be based off a verse. It goes, "We will overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony." Right? And so I've just been like thinking about this, concept, like the cross of Christ and the blood of the Lamb, which is like the blood of Jesus, which forgives us of our sins, right? And Billy Graham was saying that he wished he would have preached more on the cross of Christ and the blood of the Lamb. That was like his advice to his younger self. So like I just wanted to get your opinion on like, do you think that's like true? I mean, that's the whole point. Jesus paid it all. He died on the cross for each of our sins. It is finished, but just wanted to know what that meant to you.
It meant that I would never tell myself that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So you don't think that there's any benefit or any
I don't
helpfulness?
understand it because Billy is not here for me to ask what did he mean by that.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means, so I can't respond to it.
He said like the power was in the cross and with the blood, and he wished he would have preached more about that, more so than anything else.
I don't know what he means.
Yeah, I didn't. I mean,
Because
I
the
kind of
power
didn't.
is not in the blood. The power is in the love.
Right.
God's love is the power, not the blood.
Right, on the cross of Christ and the blood of the Lamb, right? And so
What?
that's what he said. So I was just
But
wondering,
it
like,
doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
I
it just-
don't know what that means. It just sounds like he was quoting the scriptures, but I don't know
Something, yeah.
because he's not here.
okay, it's just been,
But the power is to become a son of God and live by his spirit.
yeah,
His the perfect love, that's where the real power is.
right.
Because I don't know what else is. I don't know what that means.
And then there's that.
So don't try to figure that one out.
Yeah. I'm kind of going back and forth with it, but. And then that song, it's, "We will overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony."
I never heard that song.
Yeah. Do you think there's any truth to that?
Repeat it.
It says, "We will overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony."
I don't know what that means either.
You don't think? Well, I mean, I suppose maybe you would say that we can't do anything of ourselves, so it doesn't matter
But see,
our word.
sometimes people say things, if they're not around and do a follow-up with them, you don't really know what they meant by
Yeah,
it.
right.
So I would just leave that alone if I were you.
And just be.
Yeah, I wouldn't try to figure that out.
Yeah, okay.
If it's not revealed to you, I wouldn't try to figure it out.
Cool.
Because Satan will give you whatever answer you need to deceive you. You
Right.
cannot figure out the mind of God.
Yeah.
And one of the problems that the Christians have made, mistakes they have made, whether intentionally or unintentionally, they read the Bible and then they interpret the Bible. But Satan interpreted it for them, and they think that they are interpreting the Bible or that it's from God. So I wouldn't try to figure it out.
Okay.
The mind cannot understand the things of God. Period.
Cool.
So where's Billy now?
He did.
All right. Right behind you.
Good morning, Jesse, and everyone listening.
Good morning. Happy 4th.
Oh my gosh, happy White History Month.
Absolutely.
I celebrate the diversity and beauty of white people like every day.
Right on.
So that's
That's
just
all
me
right
though.
with me.
But to the
But doesn't
gentleman,
July just feel white?
every day feels white to me because I live in like suburbia. Yes. Yeah, praise Jesus. But to the gentleman in front, he can pray to God when he's in traffic, and maybe God will like split the, like split the traffic, like God split the ocean. But I was just gonna say that like this time yesterday, I actually went and forgave my dad. So now I'm like really on cloud 9, and it's like nice.
Oh, good.
And I
So
was
what
actually.
happened?
Thank you. Oh my gosh, I know it's almost complete. Well, I went to forgive him. So over lunch, I was speaking highly of you. I thought that it was quite evident that I wasn't the same person that he saw 2 months ago, and I think that he could tell that it was coming, and he wanted to avoid that.
Yeah.
That kind of like discomfort and unease. So he kept lambasting you, saying horrible things about you, and like this, convocation of patriots that we have here. And I don't know. It's like, okay, it's cool. Let him speak.
Did he call me the
He's like, does
N-word?
Jesse force you to give money? It's
Did he call me the N-word?
no, not this time. No, but yeah, and he's like, where did Jesse study Islam? Does he realize that no human is illegal, and so on and so forth? So finally, when my dad dropped me off so I could go back to class, I said, Dad, I'm not going to name off every example of like why you screwed me up or how you screwed me up, but I just want to let you know I'm not angry anymore, and I forgive you. And then he was like, okay, like say hi to your grandma for me. So I was thinking, well, not only is he like a weak man, but he's also quite stubborn. So I'm thinking, I was like doubting it. It's like maybe I didn't forgive him properly. So later on that night, he ended up sending me a smiley face with like hearts for eyes. And I'm like, okay, he gets it. Like, we're good. So that's like a nice chapter to,
Right
to
on.
close up. So
That's
I've just been feeling
amazing.
really good. So yeah.
I'm so happy to see you working on these things.
Yeah, me too.
You're going to walk on cloud after a while. That's so
I
nice.
should say so, yeah.
Are you doing the silent prayer?
I've started to at night, and the thing that I've been noticing for the last 2 weeks is no matter what time I go to sleep, even if it's like 2 in the morning, I've been getting up at 5 a.m., between 5 and 5:30. So I'm thinking now it's like, that's just like the calling to start doing it when I wake up, right? Because I just, like why else would I keep getting up at this
You
time?
should definitely do it early in the morning.
Yeah.
Because during the day is when you deal with all the challenges, the freeway stuff and all that. So you should be still so you can see how to deal with those issues.
I'm going to try it,
Yeah.
tomorrow
First thing
morning.
in the morning, last
Yeah.
thing at night.
Sure.
All right. Have you ever had a fight with the traffic, with people in the traffic? Take the mic for me.
I've never had a physical fight, but definitely I've definitely just have thrown negative energies, and negative energies was thrown back at me, and all that. Yeah.
That's amazing. All right. But you never got out of your car and ran after the person.
Oh no, that's dangerous.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't get that bad.
Yeah, you never know what people have in their cars.
Right. Okay. All right. That's good. Yes, sir.
A couple of years back, I learned my lesson with road rage. I had a gun pulled on me for road raging. So I learned my lesson. I don't do that no more. If they get angry at me, I'm just like, whatever, dude. It's not worth it.
That's right. Absolutely.
After that, I learned my lesson. If they flip me off, whatever, I don't care.
Yeah, call me names. Just
Yeah.
go ahead, leave me alone.
And is road rage a sin?
A sin?
Like, is it a sin to road rage?
No.
It's not, right?
It's the sin that's caused you to do it, but it's not a sin to do it. But you do put your life at risk.
Yeah.
So I
That
wouldn't
was
take
bad.
that.
Yeah. I learned my lesson.
Yeah.
My question was, so people are saying that, some people are saying that the earthquakes are from God, like a judgment from God. I'm not saying that. I'm just letting you know. I want
Right.
to get your opinion on it.
I don't believe it.
Do you believe that?
No.
And what do you think drives them to say those kind of things? Just to like stir people up, or?
The sinful nature of human beings. Because when Adam gave it to Eve and Eve gave it to the serpent, everything changed. The earth, the whole earth and human beings were affected by that. And so I just think it's the sinful nature of human beings that bring on this stuff.
Do you think the earthquakes are like a sign from God?
I don't know. It could be, but I doubt it. Because when God wants us to know something, He'll let us know.
Yeah.
You know, unless He's trying to wake up a few people. I don't know. That's a good question. But I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just want to get your opinion on it.
Yeah, you know, people blame all the bad things on God.
They'll blame it on Trump too.
Yeah, God and his son Trump. All right, did I see a hand somewhere in here? Oh, James. And then, there you.
So this person, Canaan, talks about how they say idle minds and idle hands are the devil's workshop. Is that the same as needing to be still and know?
Repeat that?
He says that idle minds and hands are the devil's workshop. And he asks if that's the same as being still and knowing.
No. Not if it's the devil's workshop. I don't clearly understand the question. Call the radio show tomorrow, and I can ask the question.
And he says Happy White History Month.
Thank you. Happy White History Month. Let me ask this before
Can I
I
ask
come.
a couple more?
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Thanks. Roberto says silent prayer works best 3 times a day.
So, yeah, sometimes when you first start out, you deal with so many things and you get lost in your imagination. It is nice to go and just have that, let that pass. After a while, you won't have to do it that many times a day. You'll live that way. So, yeah, it is. It's fine.
Last quick one. Is competitiveness evil? Competing with other people, is that evil?
It's ego-driven, that's for sure. And it drives you nuts. I wouldn't recommend it. All right. Let me just ask you, then I'll come to you, all right? Do you believe, have you been born again?
Yes.
You have? How do you know?
Well, it's very interesting you asked that question because I've been thinking about recently whether I was actually ever really born again until recently. Gone to church my whole life, known about Jesus, went to Bible school, you know, vacation Bible school growing up. So, but I was still sinning. I was still doing all this mess, you know, and going to church, tithing, but my life wasn't changing like you have described before. Well, it hasn't been until recently that I haven't even really been having the desire or urge to sin. And I've been recognizing it and doing the silent prayer, and I was stressing myself out way too much.
So have you been born again?
Yes, I believe
And
I have.
How do you know?
Because things are changing. It's just life is different. I feel connected to God in all things, and the things that have had a grip on me, sins that I have not been able to stop doing over the years, I'm not doing them anymore.
And so, without being all dirty,
Yeah.
what were the sins you were doing before you were born again this time, and now you don't do them anymore?
Well, I did lust after women a lot, and I wasn't really like being slut maker, but I was
Slut maker.
I was lusting in my
You're a
heart.
slut maker.
Was lusting in my heart
So
after
you're a slut maker.
inside, I suppose.
As he got to Jim, are you a slut maker? He just started cracking up.
Yeah.
He's like, yes, I can't help it.
And I started smoking pot at 25, and I did it pretty consistently for about 2 years. But that's fallen away too.
And so you don't do any of those things that you used to do
Nope.
anymore? Is there anything else you want to stop in your life that you wish you didn't do?
Really, I'm just pretty much being at this point.
All right. Okay,
Yeah.
good. I'll tell you why I asked that in a minute.
Okay.
All right, right here.
I'm pretty sure I know the answer to my question. I just want to confirm it with you. I'm getting a lot of thoughts going through my head about this girl that I'm dating, I get antsy. Like, I always check my phone, and if I don't,
Beta.
yeah, serious, you know? And before, in my super beta phase, I'd be freaking out, man. I'd be like constantly texting her or just like, what's wrong, this and that. Like, I'd annoy myself annoying her.
Yeah.
And now doing the silent prayer and, you know, being more still, I don't listen to the thoughts as much. But what I do notice is that I want to distract myself from that. I want to text my ex-girlfriend. I want to call her just to distract myself from the current one. I want to go to the past.
Yeah.
And what is that? What do I do? Like, is it bad to distract myself from these thoughts, or should I confront them?
What do you think? If I wasn't around and you knew that every thought is a lie, and all of a sudden you remember, oh, every thought is a lie, no such thing as a true thought, what would you do?
I would confront them.
What do you mean confront them?
Deal with it, and instead of trying to distract myself from it, face it and come to terms with it.
I don't know what all that means. What do you mean by that? How do you deal with them, confront them, and come to terms with them?
Doing the silent prayer, you know, I've noticed that helps a lot because.
Are you convinced yet that every thought is a lie?
Yeah,
You are convinced?
I am convinced.
Then why are you calling your ex to?
I don't. I'm tempted to,
Oh, well,
You
don't
know.
do it.
but that's the hard part because I want to distract myself from the thoughts.
And so, how would you? Does this old one want to hear from you?
Probably not.
So she's just going to make you mad or make you feel worse, and you'll be more into your head.
Exactly.
Isn't that right?
Yeah.
She'll be like, "What do you want?"
Exactly. Yeah. So, what is the best thing to do? Is to just man up and deal with it, or
Man up.
man up?
Joel, what would you remind? What would you? I'm gonna add Joel. He black. What would
dumb
you
it down
say
for
to, if you were walking down the road and he saw this halo over you, and he asked you the same question? What would you say? When he said, should he call his old girlfriend to distract him from the first girlfriend, or should he confront the thoughts? So, what would you recommend?
Not do anything.
So,
Let it go.
what?
Not do anything.
Like, be still and just
Just let it go because it's you making up scenarios of why she's not getting back to
Exactly.
you.
yeah.
Yeah, don't. Every thought is a lie, so you just have to. I don't know what you mean by confront them. Do you fight with them?
Yeah.
How do you fight with a thought?
I don't. I try not to listen to it. I try not to act on it.
Oh, okay.
You know?
Well, just relax and let it pass.
Yeah.
You don't
And-
put any effort. Don't try anything. Just observe.
Yeah.
Do not try not to listen to them. Do not try to fight with them. Just watch them. You are the observer. And it's God who allows you to see that your thoughts are all lies. And eventually it becomes natural for you.
Yeah. And doing the silent prayer has made things easier because back in the day I'd be a total beta about it, man.
Yeah.
You know.
I understand.
But yeah, so I kind of figured that'd be the answer.
I had one guy tell me that on Friday. He said that he broke up with his girlfriend, and it was so hard on him, he ended up in a mental institution. He started smoking pot. He started using drugs, all kind of stuff. And I totally understand what he was talking about. I understood it clearly. I had never been in a mental institution,
Yeah.
but I wanted to take my life over breaking up with a girl once in my young days.
Just one more thing. Is Satan with us from the beginning, or does something traumatic have to happen to us for him to make his presence known?
When you're born into a crazy family,
Yeah.
when your father and mother are not perfect, you're born into that sin of your family, and they cause you to become a son of Satan. The moment you start to become angry at your father and mother, or your mother, in that very moment, you fall into the same hell they are in.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, but you're not born that way. Unless the mother was very angry while she was pregnant with you. She just hated being pregnant. She hated your father. That could traumatize you in the womb.
Okay.
As well.
Right.
But you're not born. God didn't create you that way.
Okay, so he's not in you unless from your
The
parents.
moment you become angry, then Satan make a home in you. That's the only way he can get inside of you, is to make you judge your parents first and other people.
Okay.
Or yourself.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. Yes, ma'am. Then I really want to get to what Will said.
Okay, so I've been struggling with this for a while now. I think many times when we've talked, it's something that when I go home, I really can't reconcile or figure it out. And what I can't figure out is what is right. Because when I think about what is right, I tend to realize it's coming from a place of ego. But then, say, for example, when I'm listening to your show and I'm listening to kind of like things that you'll declare, like, men driving in the passenger side is, beta, I kind of think, okay, well, that's not right, so the right thing is for a man to drive in the driver's seat. So I then look at myself and I think, gosh, I really don't know what is right, and I can't tell when it's coming from a place of ego or when it's coming from God. And I was hoping you can help me.
That's a beautiful position to be in, to recognize that you don't know right from wrong. As a matter of fact, that's going to be one of my biblical questions. Do you know right from wrong? And when you realize that you don't know right from wrong, then you know what's right.
And I get that, because when I ask
But you
myself,
can't figure it out.
when I ask myself, okay, is abortion right? I know it's wrong. Like, having abortion is wrong. Like, I don't know how to explain it. I just know it's wrong.
Right.
But do I know if putting the laundry in the hamper instead of the floor, is that right? Then I kind of think, oh, that's coming from a place of ego. It's not coming from a place of God, of
So
what's right.
you asked me about putting clothes in a...
Well, a couple weekends ago, or a couple churches ago, I think what I had presented was like, okay, if, we're in our house and, my boyfriend comes and drops the floor on the clothes on the floor instead of putting it in the hamper, I look at that as wrong, because it, doesn't help with what needs to get done, which is quicker way of getting the laundry done. I have to take an extra step. So when I look at that, I'm judging the situation and I'm kind of giving it a name for it being wrong, but that's really my ego.
Yeah, it's your judgment of it. I mean, we're supposed to be clean and try to keep our environment clean, but that's not like a sin.
Mm-hmm.
It's something you do, to be clean. But to be mad about it is you judging your boyfriend about it. You hate him for it.
Yeah, and I don't get mad. I mean, I don't get upset. But I do see it as a wrong. Like, I don't get upset about it. I just pick it up, put it in the hamper. But I do see it as a wrong. Like,
What kind of a wrong?
Like, how could you do that? Like, shame on you for doing that. That shouldn't be the way, because, that's kind of the thought. But I don't turn around. I don't cause a problem. I don't get angry. I don't, react outside of myself. Like, I don't react outside of
You
myself.
don't yell at him?
I don't yell. I don't get any. it
At one
doesn't
time you
happen.
did?
Yeah, I've had days where I think, yes.
And now you don't anymore?
No, I don't.
But do you just yell within yourself about him
Well,
dropping clothes?
I'll criticize. I'll be like, gosh, what's up with that?
Yeah.
Like, I'll think to myself, like, gosh, why would he do that kind of thing? Like, why?
Does it seem like a really bad thing?
It's not that moment that's a bad thing. It's more of like looking at the big picture and seeing all these little moments and thinking, and they all kind of accumulate in that moment
Right.
sometimes. It's not necessarily the clothes on the floor. It could be that, something else
Amazing.
happened. But and I also have one more thing that I thought about. I was really thinking about the silent prayer and how, like, you have to, like, find nothing. You hold on, I have it here. When I search for nothing, I tend to find something. And I think that that's kind of what I'm doing wrong with the silent prayer is I'm kind of like trying to find nothing, but I end up finding something in my thoughts and in that. And I was wondering if it should be the other way. Should I be searching for something to find nothing? Or is it just all crazy talk?
How would you respond to her? You guys at the barbecue, and she said that to you. What would you ask you that question? What would you say?
The question was if you, when
When you seek something, or when you seek nothing, you find something.
yeah.
And what I was thinking is, well, should I be seeking something so that I can find nothing?
No, I think you should just seek nothing and then you'll get answers that way.
Yeah. Yeah, just seek the kingdom, that's all. Seek God within. But don't have all that other stuff going on. It seems to have you thinking about, should you be looking for something and find nothing? Or should you be looking for nothing and finding something? All that's from Satan. Those are not your thoughts. He's telling you to think about those things. So you got to doubt everything that comes to your mind. Don't listen to anything in the head. Every thought is a lie.
So one more question.
Do you believe yet that every thought is a lie? Have you been convinced?
I have not been convinced yet.
Oh, well, that's
that
why
every
Satan
thought's-
got you thinking about seeking something and finding nothing, looking for nothing. Don't listen to anything. Every thought that he give you is a lie. No such thing as a true thought.
So where does our action come from? When we take an action, the action that we take, where does that come from?
Like,
Like when, okay, because you.
when I go to work, I know I need to go to work if I want to eat. It come from that.
But is that a thought? Or is that?
I don't need to think about going to work. As a matter of fact, if you think on it, Satan will tell you to take off today. Call in sick. You know what I'm saying? I don't think about going to work. I just get up and go to work because I know I need to. So are you asking if thinking about going to work is an issue?
Well, just when I look at my action, what drives my actions, a lot of it is thought. Oh, I'm hungry. I'm thinking, oh, I'm hungry. Okay, go get something to eat. And I think that's where action comes from. It comes from what comes from your thoughts. So, you get up in the morning, you know you have to go to work. It's a thought that comes to your mind. You got to go to work.
But let that pass. You don't need to think on going to work. Just get up and go to work. If Satan try to make you think about it, let it pass.
Okay.
Because I noticed that if I think about going to the gym, I won't go. But if I just get up and go, then I just go. And then when I get there, he'll say, oh, don't work so hard today at the gym. Do this little exercise or something like that. So I listen to none of that. I just do what I want to do. But you got to doubt every thought. You're putting too much into it.
I see it. And I know that the silent prayer is the solution.
Are you doing the silent prayer?
Yes, I do the silent prayer every morning, not every night, but every morning
Have you
I
been doing
do.
the silent prayer every morning, every night since I last saw you?
No, just
See,
the
that's
morning.
what the problem is.
Yes.
Why not do it? And I'm not trying to force you. You could suffer.
And that's what I
Why
ask
don't you do the
myself.
silent prayer?
I'm able to do it in the morning because when I am in bed, when I wake up, the first thought is God. So I'm able to do it in the morning. I have no issues with the morning. But at night, it's like I forget about God and I have no sense of there's nothing there to remind me, hey, do the silent prayer at night. Versus
Do you
in the
drink
morning.
wine before you do the silent prayer?
No.
You smoke pot?
Once in a while, yes.
Well, no wonder. Don't smoke the pot before the prayer.
I don't know.
If you gotta have the pot, do the prayer first,
Yeah.
and then go smoke the pot. By the time you're done with the pot, you already found Jesus. And you just smoked him.
Smoke the Jesus. Okay.
Why would you smoke the pot first? You're not gonna want to pray after you smoke pot.
I don't know. I don't have a good answer. But I do see where I'm weak.
With the mic open.
I do see where I'm weak.
Why are you still smoking pot?
Because I know that my situation that I'm in is not right, and I'm not doing what's right in my situation. And I struggle because a part of me doesn't want to take responsibility for it. And the part that doesn't want to take responsibility is I don't want to leave my situation. You know, I don't want to leave my family. I don't want to leave. I want us all to stay together. So it's just, it's ego. It's, I don't know, it's all of that. It's the confusion that I have between what's right and what's wrong. All of that is what.
Why don't you just do what's right or accept the situation? Stop thinking on it so much.
I want to accept the situation, because to do what's right, I think requires like me to, I guess, leave the house, and that I struggle with. I don't see that that's the right way. Like, it sounds like it's the right way, but I don't feel like it doesn't. You know, every time I think about that, I just doesn't. I don't know. I can't do it. I can't just get up and leave. And then the other situation would be to have my boyfriend leave, and he has no interest in leaving either. So it's like I struggle because, you know, we're both doing, neither of us want to do what's
Are
right.
you sleeping in separate rooms?
Well, we haven't slept in separate rooms, but because we had some
Is
company.
it hard to
and
sleep in a
things
separate
like
room
that.
too?
But we are going to separate into separate rooms.
You said that the last time.
Because we had
Last month.
We had company.
Huh?
We had company, and they were using the room, so I had to. I couldn't. So, and I don't have a couch, so I don't have a place to sleep. So
On the floor.
I could. You're right. I could take the floor, but as of tonight,
Make
I'll
him
be
take the floor.
sleeping separate.
Women push men around. Put him on the floor.
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry.
Right here. And then I got to ask this question, and then we'll move forward.
Sorry.
I just wanted to comment earlier. The gentlemen were talking about lust and silent prayer, and it's perfect because I haven't been here in a while, and it's nice seeing you again, Jesse.
You too, buddy.
And I just went through a situation. I was with a woman before I was saved, when I was still sinning.
That you were not married to?
I was not married
You
to.
were living with her?
Actually, for a time we were living together. This is before I was saved, and I came back to God. When I came back to God, you know, I told her, no more fornication, I can't do this, we're not married, and I'm leaving, and I left. And and we just remained friends, but I kept my distance, and I had no more sin in my life. I had perfect peace, and I knew God was with me. But recently, you know, because we were in sobriety, and she relapsed, and I didn't even know she relapsed. Her brother texted me out of nowhere, and he says, "Hey, I haven't heard from her. Has she talked to you?" I go, "She hasn't talked to me." And God made my heart heavy. So I said, well, let me check up on them to see if everything's okay. Well, I go back, I find out she relapsed. She's got some man in her house, and he's got dingy clothes. I know they're drinking and
You
using.
said she has a man at her house?
Yeah,
Okay.
and he's got dingy clothes, and I shook his hand, introduced myself. His hands were like sandpaper. And I knew that they were doing wrong, and the baby's on the floor. She took the kids out of school, and it's just all bad. And but I introduced myself to him, and then I left her a message about, you know, God. And so I had no emotions, and there was no anger or nothing like that. And I prayed for both of them, but when I got home, and this is how it ties into what we're talking about, when I got home, the devil immediately started hitting me with thoughts. And I truly understand now what you mean by our thoughts are not our own, and about silent prayer, because now I stay in silent prayer. I don't even take time to do it. I'm just always in silent prayer. And these thoughts are coming across my head, you know, oh, she just would have stayed with you, it would have been better. And I was thinking to myself, because that hasn't happened to me. I've had no anger, no lust, any of that. And so the devil was trying to put lust back in my head. And I remember just observing those thoughts. And then I kind of thought to myself, why are these thoughts in my head like this? It was so foreign to me at this point in my life.
And so what happened?
And so what I did was immediately it hit me, and God told me, this is lust that the devil's trying to put in your heart. And immediately when I held those thoughts in captivity and brought them into obedience
So
to
you
God.
went back to the house and got her?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
No, I wasn't. What I did was I was already at home when all this was happening. And what I did was I just observed those thoughts, And then God let me know that these are lustful thoughts. And immediately I told myself, oh, this is lust. And immediately God steadied my heart. He took all those away from me and the thoughts stopped. And in that moment, it hit me what it meant to hold our thoughts in captivity, bring them under obedience of God.
Yeah.
And
When you say that God made it heavy on your heart, what do you mean by that?
it was weird because her brother texted me, and it wasn't like before when I was a sinner, where I was sad or I was yearning or something. It just, my heart felt weird, like something was wrong.
Is she a drug addict?
Yes.
She was a drug addict.
She's
And
an
so
alcoholic
God
and a
put it
drug
on
addict.
your heart to go over there?
No, he just made my heart heavy, and I couldn't understand. Because I didn't even know that she was doing well at that point.
But why would he make your heart heavy?
I don't know. That's what confused me.
He didn't make your heart heavy.
Well, yeah, I
No,
understand
but
that.
make your
Yeah,
heart heavy.
I understand that now.
So if my brother had called me and said, hey, your ex is on drugs and she has a man.
No, he didn't tell me any of that.
What did he text you to say?
All he asked me was that, have you heard from her or something wrong? But my thoughts weren't
So you
about.
should have said, no, I haven't. If
Yeah,
you
that's
ever
what I
hear
said.
Say, I wish you well.
Yeah, that's what I said.
But you went over there.
No, I didn't go over there immediately. I was welding, and
But you should have gone, period.
yeah, I shouldn't have. But it wasn't about her, and it's because she had the two little babies there.
Are they your babies?
No, they're my godsons. And I just went to check up, not to
Oh, okay.
cause any confusion. My concern was, are they okay? I didn't know she
So
had
did
relapsed.
you leave the babies there?
Yes, of course.
Oh.
Yeah, I left the babies there, and I left her there, and I left her in peace, and I wished them well, and I
okay.
left them a message about God, and I went about my way.
All
And I
right.
haven't spoke to her since.
Well, stay with the silent prayer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do.
Right here, then, I got to tell you something, all right? I had a very interesting conversation with someone. Yes.
Morning, Jesse. What would you recommend for, in my case, I got some family that I just don't see them coming around. I mean, I can change, they could too, but
Repeat that?
I got some family that just don't come around and we don't talk, they're pretty angry. For people who might be in the same position, is it possible you just don't ever talk again for the rest of your life and that's cool? Because I'm okay with it.
I wouldn't
but-
worry about that. I have family members that don't talk either. And so you just take it one day at a time, accept what it is, and don't worry about tomorrow. It'll take care of itself.
Okay. Happy White History.
Oh, happy white history, man. Right here. What's wrong? The white Victoria.
Nothing's wrong.
What's on your mind?
No, nothing.
You mad at your husband?
No,
You yelled at him?
no,
You didn't yell at him this morning?
no,
How about for the 4th of July?
no.
All right. So all is well?
All is very well.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So let me ask you, I had a very interesting conversation on the phone with someone about being born again. All right, how many people have been born again? Oh, good. Let me see. Oh, amazing. So before I ask them, I got to find out. Right here. I know your mother did. What did she say to you?
She thought it was for me, and I said, no, it's you. I didn't raise
Right. You say you've been born again, right? What happened once you were born again?
I became like a child again.
Meaning what?
Meaning like all the conversations that we've been having here is because we complicate everything. Whereas, you know how Jesus says, unless you become like a little child, you will not see the kingdom of God?
Right.
So we so addicted to our thoughts and thinking. And I was just thinking, if we were like all
So
back...
when you were born again, did you stop doing the things that you were doing prior to being born again?
Which things?
All those things that you didn't want to do. You know, there's things in life that we do in a fallen state, whether it's have sex out of wedlock, or smoke pot, or drink, or still yell, you get angry, or sleep, or whatever. Were you doing any of those things once you were born again?
No.
You didn't do any of those things anymore?
I don't think so. Have I?
Don't ask your daughter. You gotta know for yourself. She doesn't live with you.
Right, but I think sometimes like
You stop doing any of those things, all those things.
you're asking me now.
Uh-huh.
No, I don't. But that's not even the point. No, but no, I'm not doing those things. But
No,
those
once
things
you-
were never the problem anyway.
Once you were born again, did you stop doing those things?
Yes.
You did stop?
Yes.
Completely stop?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Let me see the born again people again. Okay. Derek. So you've been born again.
Yes.
And once you were born again, did your old habits fall away? Did you stop doing your old stuff?
Yes.
You completely stopped.
Yes.
You completely stopped.
Yes.
So you did none of your old stuff anymore.
Nothing that I.
Stand up. What does he say in that rap song? You gotta stop and hang your mama. You gotta.
That's Joel's part. That's Joel. I'm gonna let Joel have that one.
So once you were born again, you stopped all those old habits that you have picked up along the way. You no longer did any of those things as soon as you were born again.
Nothing. No, I don't do any of those things. I
can
drink
tell
on
he's
occasion,
lying.
but I didn't think that was a habit.
So what now?
I drink on occasion, but
Uh-huh.
that's just when it comes around.
So you're saying, yes, Jesse, once I was born again, all my habits just stopped.
Yes.
Okay? White Victoria had her hand. Victoria, once you were born again, did all your habits disappear right away?
Right away? No, but they have been disappearing.
And so you are born again?
Yes.
And so do you still do some of the old things you used to do?
Like on 4th of July, I used to be very competitive, and I just realized how that's from the ego. But I was being competitive in a playful way, not in like a mean way.
Of course.
But like
So-
today, I clearly saw it, and I'm like, oh wow, that's very from the ego, even if it's playful. So,
And so once you were born again, you know how in the Father's state we do all kind of weird stuff.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Everybody know what I'm talking about? And so you like cry out to Jesus and he saved you, you're born again. Do you stop doing all those weird things?
Yes.
So immediately you stopped everything?
Yes.
You stopped yelling at your husband and everything?
No, not immediately. No,
Not immediately.
it took some time.
Were you surprised that once you were born again, you still did that?
Yes.
And why?
Because I realized obviously something's wrong. I'm not really I'm not being a true Christian if I'm still sinning, if I'm still judging. So it took me becoming aware of my thoughts to realize, wow, I have no control over myself. I just have to let go.
Interesting. Who else had their hand? Oh, the red shirt. Yes. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. How are you doing, Jesse?
All this well. This your first time here?
Yes, it is.
What's your name?
Michael.
Michael, how you doing?
I'm doing well.
How old are you?
18.
18. Good, man. And so you've been born again.
Yes, sir.
And so once you were born again, you stopped doing all your stuff?
Yeah, immediately I made a conscious effort to stop it. I stopped it.
You stopped it? Give me an example of something that you stopped, as long as it's not gross.
Okay, well, I've never done drugs or anything, but I have not had sex out of wedlock since then.
And so once you were born again, you stopped having sex?
Yeah, and I stopped anger. Those were the two things. I've never gotten angry since then.
Oh, good, man. Any questions for me? That's so good for you to stop at 18. Believe me.
It's easier now because I had less things. I feel like you could pick up sin along the way because the sin of life gets in the way as you move through life.
Right.
So I feel like that I stopped now with basically no sin. It's easier than stopping 100 sins later when you're like 30 or 40.
Yeah, but the older you get, the harder it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Any questions for me?
Not at the moment.
Okay. And this your first time here too?
Yeah.
What's your name?
Arthur.
Oh, let him have the mic. How old are you, Arthur?
I'm 15.
You're 15.
Yeah.
Have you been, this is your first time here, right?
Yeah.
Any questions for me?
Yeah, I was meaning to ask a question. I was born in Armenia, and we have a large history, one of the oldest nations. But with that came with the Armenian genocide with the Ottoman Turkish Empire.
Yeah.
And I find it hard, and I did not raise my hand because I don't believe I was born again, because I believe it's hard to forgive, because how you said, if we forgive, you got to forgive to have salvation. But it's hard for me to forgive a nation that doesn't apologize for what they did after genociding over 1.5 million Armenians. So I was going to ask you, how do I go on about forgiving a nation that hasn't really paid reparations or apologized to my nation?
Did they do it, were you born, did they do it to you?
Not to me directly, but my grandparents and my great-grandparents were hurt directly.
And so they just told you what happened?
Yeah.
And so what are you mad about? It didn't happen to you.
It didn't happen to me, but they stole a lot of land and they killed a lot of people.
Right.
So how could I forgive them? And they're being very demeaning
You
about it.
shouldn't even be mad about it. It didn't happen to you. That happened back then, and it happens all over the world. You have wars and stuff going on, right? And you shouldn't be angry about it at all because it did not happen to you. And your parents should not be angry about it. Even if it happened to your grandparents, that was then. This is now. That's over with. So you just need to forgive them. You don't need them to pay you money or anything. God is with you, and your life will be fine. But you should love your enemy and not hate your enemy.
Okay.
So you forgive them, and when those folks talk about, oh, we want reparations, tell them to go sit down. We ain't got no money.
Okay.
All right? Tell them to stop begging.
All right.
Because if they forgive, they can rebuild the nation. It'll be better than the first time around. They will learn from it. But if they hold grudges and looking for reparation and apology, then they're going to be generation going to suffer unnecessarily. Like you're suffering about something you had nothing to do with. You were not a part of that. You live in a world now where you can do what you want.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So let that go and tell your folks they need to let it go and stop talking to you about it if they're mad.
Okay.
And don't participate in those rallies that want more money.
Okay. I haven't.
Yeah, don't go back.
I won't.
You have never gone to what do you call it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't go to that stuff.
Yeah,
Those are beggars, weak people.
Yeah.
They are children of Satan.
Yeah, they're betas.
They're beta. That's right. Yeah, don't be pulled into hell like that.
Okay.
And so when they bring up something that's over with, you say, you guys need to forgive so you can forget and move on.
Okay.
And don't teach that to your children.
I won't.
Or if you do teach it with love and not with hate. That's what's wrong with most black people today. They want reparations, they want affirmative action, and none of them were enslaved at all. And they don't even know if their parents were grandparents or not. They just hear that you can get free stuff by being a victim.
Okay.
Don't fall for it. You always forgive and move on. That make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. And correct your grandparents and parents when they tell you that stuff.
Okay.
It's ridiculous.
All right.
All right. I lived on a plantation in Alabama for colors only, for whites only sign. I'm not moved by that at all. It doesn't bother me at all, not one iota. That's over. It doesn't exist anymore.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Yes.
All right. Any other questions?
No.
Oh, okay. Amazing. Oh yeah, happy white history. So you're a Z, right?
Am I Z? Yeah.
Gen Z.
Yes.
It's so nice to see Gen Z waking up. It's so nice, man. You gotta avoid a lot of hell.
Yeah.
Believe me. So good. Don't fall in that trap with your grandparents or parents.
I won't.
Yeah. Don't hate.
I won't.
All right. So, who else said they've been born again over here? Oh, let's go right here. Ooh, this should be interesting, Joel. So you've been born again?
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry?
Yes, sir.
And so, once you were born again, did you do any of your old, that stuff you were doing prior to being born again?
Immediately, no. Yeah, I was still doing it, but the difference was that I didn't have the taste for it. So like, before I was when I was born again, I was still smoking, still drinking.
Smoking pot?
Yeah. And
You still
like,
lust after women?
I'm doing way better than before. Like, just doubting thoughts, that
So
stuff.
you still lusting after women?
Lusting, I'm not slut making. So,
Are you still lusting?
nah.
Oh, God.
But, it's just, I'm overcoming, over time. It's just like, it's a whole process of being born again. It's just, things just start to fall away. I become more aware of certain things,
Right.
and then it just falls away. And, that's what it means.
Thank you, Rich. I had a conversation with a friend who know me very well, and they asked me that question about once you're born again, do you still sin? Do you do that stuff, right? And then it was a very, very good conversation. I wish I had the scripture that he read to me, and I hope to bring it next week. But he asked me about that, and I said, yeah, you do. You still do some of that old stuff, right? And what I realized is that once you're born again, if you still do some of that old stuff you used to do, people who know you will judge you for it, right? Even though they're still doing stuff too, they're going to judge you. But what I realized, there is this perception that once you're born again, you no longer take a smoke, or you no longer hit a joint or drink again, right? That all of a sudden, you just don't do those things. And if you see someone that you know who's been born again and they still doing that thing or do that once in a while, you say, oh, I thought you were a Christian. I thought you were born again, right? The point is, I want you to know that God said that if we should be repent and be born again, He is justified to what? Forgive us and then cleanse of all our unrighteousness, right? So the first thing that needs to happen is that your heart must be born again. You have to overcome the fallen state. Your heart must be, you have to overcome the anger and be born again, and then you become a son or a daughter of God, right? Because now you've gone to your parents and you apologize for resenting them. I'm sorry for resenting you for what you've done to me. And so once God draws you back in, you are born again, all right? But that doesn't mean once in a while you're not going to hit that joint or yell at somebody on the freeway, put out some bad energy or whatever, right? But what happened is He said He'll cleanse you of all your unrighteousness. So in that fallen state, we pick up a lot of unrighteousness, whatever it may be. Having sex out of wedlock, or living together before marriage, or lying, or a weakness, right? Whatever it may be. That's unrighteousness. That's not sin. And so what happened is, once people are born again, they try to control that. They'll say, well, I don't have sex, but they're like so suppressed. The first thing come along 10 years later, they're going to have some sex. And once they have sex, then they say, well, oh, God. They judge themselves for that, right? Because they have called the sex the sin. You have been trained and taught to believe that the sex is the sin. The sex is the unrighteousness out of wedlock. It's not the sin. And so if you happen to, don't go out there looking for it today, right? But let's say you happen to still have some of your unrighteousness that you have not overcome, right? And you find yourself, somehow or another, you gave in to the temptation. Don't judge yourself for it. Do not judge yourself for it, all right? Because it's just unrighteousness. It's not the sin. But if you judge yourself, now you're playing God again. You're making a decision about what is right and what is wrong. You're judging, you're going to lose it. You cannot judge it. Just know that this is something you want to. It's unrighteousness, and that if you don't judge it, God will take it away from you. You will lose, as Reggie said, you will lose the taste for it. It will just naturally be taken away from you. But if you judge it because you're a Christian now, you're going to get deeper into it. You really will. So don't judge the unrighteousness. You've been lied to when they told you that that was sin. And so now you're thinking, oh, I've been born again. How am I still sinning? I hate myself. Oh, God, right? And so you try to suppress it. You try to control it. And that's where you lose it. So if you happen to fall into the unrighteousness stuff before he takes it all away from you, don't judge yourself for it. Just notice you did it, well, no big deal. Don't judge it as right or wrong. And eventually you will lose the appetite for it. It will be taken away from you because you can't take it away. It's all spiritual. And of yourself, you could do nothing. And so if you try to make yourself stop smoking pot, you're going to start drinking or doing something else. You're going to start whatever. You're going to start salsa dancing. And you'll use that for a reason. Oh, nothing wrong with salsa dancing. All right? I know people really into salsa dancing. I won't take it any further than that. But don't let that be an excuse either to hold on to unrighteousness. It's not. He wants you to be able to keep the 10 Commandments. Because once you are born again, he will cleanse you of all your unrighteousness, and you will keep the 10 Commandments, and life is amazing. And if other people judge you, they remember, oh, he just smoked a joint with me last night, right? He said he's born again. Fine, let them think whatever they want. Just don't you judge the situation. And be aware of what you're doing. Be aware when you get ready to smoke that joint or take that drink, be aware that you're taking the drink. You know? And don't be like, oh, this is so good. Then you drink the whole thing and smoke pot and now you can't pray. Do you understand that? It's the unrighteousness. You cannot get rid of your own unrighteousness. He has to do, of ourselves we can do nothing, and of ourselves we know nothing. But do not judge it as right or wrong. Just know your house is being cleaned up. And he's justified. He will cleanse you of it. He'll take away all your little stuff, your lying, your cheating, your whatever you do, your jealousy, your envy, your worries, all that will be taken away. But if you fall into that and then you judge yourself for it, you'll just drag yourself into it. You believe it's Satan. All right? And so the reason I ask that, because a lot of people think that once you're born again, it's all over. That's not true. But once you're born again, you do give up. You stop trying to fight it. You see what's going on. You see there's a spiritual battle, and of yourself you can do nothing. And so you relax and then let God's will be done, because you can't do anything about it. You see that you're his son or his daughter, and you just live your life. You're honest with one another. That makes sense? Yes, sir. Let him have it.
Is in the Bible it says that laziness is a sin? Is that a sin? People who are lazy and don't work, is that immoral, and is that a sin?
It says something about it.
Yeah, it says that you have to work. You have to.
If a man don't work, he don't eat. Something.
Right, but I think Jesus said it was a sin to be lazy.
I don't know. I don't remember that.
You don't know about that?
I do know that it's not good to be lazy. That's why when your parents don't teach you to work while you're growing up, you have to always have some responsibility, because once you become of age, if that nature has not developed, you find all kinds of reasons not to work. You come up with some stories that ain't nobody ever thought of. Nobody but you. And you can convince your parents that they're true. And you know that they're lying because your nature is not developed and you just don't want to work. And so the parents should let you starve. But most parents are not going to do that. They'll still take care of you anyway. You just hurt you even more so.
You become addicted to the person that's taking care of you.
Absolutely.
I like how you bring that point up a lot.
Yeah,
because
and
it's true.
if that person won't take care of you anymore, you'll find somebody that will do it. And now you're a socialist. You're with Cortez for socialism. All of a sudden, socialism sounds kind of good, right? You ain't got to work. But so
that woman is
you
crazy.
definitely should suffer when you don't work.
Yeah.
But most people won't let you. It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I ever read that it's a sin.
Right. Yeah, I just wanted to bring that up because we're talking
That's
about
why, yeah, that's why God changed the heart. The sin is the hatred in your heart, the anger. The sin is playing God. And when you play God, you're separated from Him, and now you got to find something to make you feel better. And that's why you pick up all this unrighteousness.
Do we get our work ethic from God? People who want to work?
Well, they should come from our parents. We should have perfect parents. And so you're looking at your parents and you become like them. And so if they work hard and they allow you to do that, then you develop that.
Got it.
Right? But God put it in your nature to be free like that, to be able to work. All right? Good question, man. Oh, right here. So do you guys understand that just because you take that last drink, don't trip on it? Because Satan used that against you. And then your fellow Christians will use it against you. Just don't judge yourself. God knows that's unrighteousness. He'll just cleanse it. He promised to cleanse you of all your unrighteousness once you admit that you're an angry, judgmental, playing God kind of person. That's what the issue is. All right? Okay. Yes.
I want to say, Happy White History Month, everybody.
Happy White History.
And I have two things.
Yes.
I think Jesus says something about being able-bodied. If you're able-bodied, like you should be working or whatever. And to the 15-year-old, I think didn't your grandpa or somebody like get killed by like white people?
My great-grandfather.
Your great-grandpa?
Yeah.
And that's more recent than the Armenian genocide.
Oh, yeah. My great-grandfather ran a plantation. As a matter of fact, it was the one we lived on. And another guy, black guy, got fired from another plantation, so he came over, asked him for a job. And my great-grandfather said, okay. So he hired the guy. And then the white people came from that plantation, somebody, and said, hey, you should let him go. He's like, nah, I'm keeping him. And they came back later that night with guns to try to kill him. But he had his own gun. And so he pulled out, ran him off. And then they came back another night, and his wife had removed the gun from the bed. So when he went for the gun, it wasn't there. They killed him in his bed. And so, but yet when they told me that story, they didn't tell it with anger that caused me to be angry. You know, make me want to go out and shoot up all white people or ask for reparation or somebody owes me something, you know. They showed it with love. And they said, hey, this is what people go through. This is what evil looked like. You know, they didn't teach you to hate. They taught you to love. You know, accept it, but just don't hate it. That's a very good point. So the next time the Armenians go and have a little rally and they want some free stuff, tell them to go to the black community and visit them. They want free stuff too. It doesn't get you anywhere. All right? Okay. Yeah, very good point, man. Anything else? Any questions about any of what I just said? Anybody doubt what I just said? And did most of you think that once you were born again that all your stuff would just automatically stop? You thought that, Cheryl?
Yes.
You did? And did you judge yourself when it didn't stop?
I didn't raise my hand. I mean, I love when you say don't judge yourself, because it's that judgment that gets us all twisted up.
And that's from Satan.
Yeah. I mean,
He'll make you judge your own self. Oh, you're supposed to be a Christian. And now here you are, sex with this, your old boyfriend come over, right? You ain't had sex in a long time. And all of a sudden, he got the right words. And you're like, no. No. And then you're like, oh, you weakened me.
You are so funny.
And then,
no, but that's
and then you do it, and now you go home, you're like, oh, Lord, I did it again. Oh, forgive me, Jesus. I'm a poor sinner.
But no, that's
Don't do that.
I know, but one thing I do really love about when I started coming here, is when you said don't judge yourself. That was huge, like big.
And we've been so set up, though, even in the churches, we've been told that the sin is the stuff. And so everybody's trying to stop the stuff, right? They didn't tell us we need a pure heart. We need to let God change our hearts. and everything else will work out, right? And so everybody working on trying not to drink, trying not to smoke, trying not to sex, trying not to lie, trying not to gossip, you know? And the more you try not to, the more you're going to get into it. And you're going to do what this young man said, oh, I fell off the straight and narrow, right? But if you're truly born again, you don't fall off the straight and narrow. You won't ever fall. You will become, you're already perfect because God's nature is perfect. And you're getting better and better and better when you don't hate anything. Don't judge it. Or when someone call your name, it's not personal. It's on them. Don't hate them back. You're being made perfect by dealing with those situations without hating. And so you can't fall off the track. And then if you happen to give in, don't give in, folks. I can see y'all now going out there. Celebrate tonight, right? Oh, Jesse says it's all right. I'm not saying it's all right, but don't hate yourself. And eventually, you will just not even be interested in it. And your old friends will remember that you used to do that. Oh, you used to, you know. Don't worry about what they think. You know for yourself that you know, all right? Just don't worry about it. Nothing on earth is worth getting mad about. Not one iota of a thing. Not one thing. And you mention your family, and they don't want to talk to you, fine. You know what I'm saying? You just live your life, be an example, be honest, don't hate, and you'll be fine. You have your own family. That make sense? Yeah. All right. Any questions? Oh, good. Yes, sir. The last one.
Greetings, everyone.
How you doing, sir?
Doing good. Thank you, Jesse.
All right. Happy White History.
Happy White History, too.
Right on. It's nice seeing people of color. Everybody's celebrating White History.
It's actually very, I remember just a couple of words about White History Month. I heard this from you, from the ones of your two videos, and I was thinking, that's actually like great idea. It really resonates and it's kind of like reminds me back to the appreciation variety or diversity. Yes. And I think gentleman said also that he wish like every ethnicity had a month, and that's actually great. I think that's how I see the America, that everyone can have a pride in who they are without hating everyone else from your right or left. And so, and you're doing this the way like it really resonates. So there is nothing like things like a hate, and it's just to be proud of who you are, be proud of positive elements of the
And the beauty about
cultures.
that is God is allowing you to see it. All I'm doing is just giving words. I can't feel them, taste them. I don't know if they are helping or not, right? Until I hear back from you that they are. But it's God inside of you, and He's drawing you back unto Him. That's what I love about this. And it's such a nice thing to see so many young people, men and women, coming to God. Believe me, you guys and ladies, you have no idea how great your life going to be. And so I know sometimes when you look at the world, it looks like we just lost it all, right? When you hear the lies and the destruction and stuff that's happening. But He's not waking you all up just because He has nothing else to do. He's waking you up for a purpose, for a reason. And so the enemies better watch out, all right? Cortez and the rest better watch out. The Wicked Witch of the West, she got a shot coming. So but you guys are not going to be afraid. It's a battle between good and evil, and they're not going to be able to use that race stuff on you, sexism and all those lies, because it's spiritual and not physical. And so you'll know something that they don't realize, and that way you can win this battle.
Right on.
Yeah.
Jesse, also I want to I was keeping up with the conversations, the answers also people gave, and I find myself getting a little bit lost where it comes to judging. What I mean by that, let's say, if we're gonna come from the place that every thought is a lie,
right?
Which is, I was just thinking like, okay, the thoughts, they're figments of imagination, and they like lies, basically, until you figure out, like, until you know that you know. And with the judgment, also a young lady over there in front, she, I think it was something with the laundry, example with the laundry.
Right.
Say today I watched the video from Trump, 4th of July.
Yes.
And I heard like, no, I didn't heard. I heard and I saw in a video that someone burned the flag during the thingy,
Right.
in the process.
Yes.
And well, like by seeing that, I think it's pretty like crazy, if I may say that.
Yes.
Just, and certainly like have a certain judgment of that. Let's say judgment of that action being done.
You have a judgment of it?
Yeah, that it's crazy. That's that.
But if you are judging it, just realize you gave into the temptation of Satan. He made you see that, and then you saw it. Then he made you judge it. Like, wow, I hate this guy
it's like,
burning the flag, right? I saw it, and I just saw evil, and I know they can't help it. I don't agree with it. When I become president, I will put him in jail right away. I would be like, hello, can you send a truck over to 15 West Washington Boulevard, put them in jail right away? And then when the illegals go out and protest, I'm an illegal, right? I'm like, send 4 or 5 trucks over to, I know where they're located. You know what I'm saying? But don't hate it. But so, whenever you believe into a thought, you will find yourself giving in like that. Just realize you believed into a thought, no big deal, and it'll pass. And you won't do it again. Don't make it a big deal.
What should be the So if it's not the separation between right and wrong, like burning flag is wrong or not burning flag is right. If that's not the compass of the.
I wouldn't walk around thinking about right and wrong. Because, I wanted to make this a biblical question, but I gotta just say, no one knows, not one human being walking this earth, know right from wrong.
Right, yeah, I think I agree with you.
We don't know right from wrong, you've just been taught right from wrong. So when someone is burning the flag, you hear the word wrong. And so when the guy go and fight for the flag, you hear the word right? Don't live that way. You just observe and get away from this right or wrong stuff, and then God will show you, and it's amazing, man.
So
if you think you know right or wrong, you would never know.
So what would be a good attitude toward that instead of
Just
right?
stay out of imagination.
Just the way, just see it and consider something natural.
For example,
natural.
this young lady saw that her boyfriend threw his socks on the floor rather than put them into the thing. If she stayed away from the temptation of Satan, she would deal with it perfectly, whatever that may be, rather than go tell him about it or put it away or whatever, right? But the moment she get angry and frustrated about it, she got to deal with it in the wrong way. Even if she go and pick it up, she's cussing all the way over there to pick it up. You know what I'm saying? I can't believe he's doing this. I told him. Well, Jesse said, don't yell at him. I told him to do this. But the first thing is to resist the temptation. Every thought is a lie. So if you doubt every thought, you will see the right thing to do. Right and wrong is not what we've been told. I want you to know that. Right and wrong is not what we have been told. And all our life we've been measuring things on what we've been told is right or wrong.
Right.
Let that go. Resist every temptation in your head. Are you doing the silent prayer?
Yes, I do.
Every morning, every night?
Twice, not twice.
Every morning, every night?
Yes, twice a day.
Every morning, every night?
Yes. Plus minus hour.
Plus what?
Plus minus hour. Sometimes afternoon and night.
Oh, okay, good, man. Stay with that. All right? And so when Satan tries to tell you what's right, what's wrong, in your head, let it pass. We should have.
Okay.
They should have never taught us right and wrong. They should have been a perfect example of it, so as children we could see the right way to go. We would, because it's spirit to spirit, we would become like them, and if they did the right thing and all that, we would pattern after that. But they taught us what's right and wrong, threw us off. And now we're judging, we're playing God. And if we don't do right, we judge ourselves and others. And if we do wrong, we hate ourselves and others. And if we do right, we praise ourselves for it. People who do right think they're something else. They'll judge you for being wrong because they think that they're right. But inside they're suppressed, depressed, they're taking medication, they want to commit suicide. They can't wait for somebody to come along and tempt them. So don't do that anymore. Just let every thought pass about everything, and you shall know the truth. All right?
Okay. Yeah, that's something like totally to get delivered from that way of living to.
Yeah.
To
And God,
much better.
he'll cleanse you of all that stuff you've been told. You'll be fine.
Okay, yes, thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, brother. Any question about anything you've heard so far?
No, I'm liking everything I'm hearing right now.
Right
It's
on.
really nice. And this is what I needed to hear actually, because it's like I've been going. This is perfect. That's all I gotta say. Is exactly what I need to hear.
Right on, man. Well, I'm glad. All right. We're out of time. Oh, I know the young lady here had her hand, and then we're done. I'm sorry, we're over. Everybody else just have to suffer until next Sunday.
You kind of answered it. You answered it already when you said that we would, because I was going to ask so if we don't know what's right and wrong, like how would we know how to act or what to do? But then you said that we would learn it from like our perfect example, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So, like, let's say that you were born into a family where your father and mother were perfect. So they're going to be light unto you. So you observe them and you will become like them. That's why when our parents are angry, they make us angry and we become just like them. Likewise, if they have perfect love, you will grow up with perfect love, and that love will guide you. We don't, in all honesty, we can't raise children. We just have to be there, and God will raise the children through us, right? Or Satan will. But we don't raise, we don't have anything to do with anything. The ego wants you to think that you do, but you really don't. So that's why, when you get married, hopefully you'll find a good man, if you haven't already found one. I think you have. But I ain't saying nothing though. And so you marry a good man, your kids have a perfect chance of growing up and a new generation will start, because they'll see the light in you and your husband and their father and their mother, and they won't go wrong, And then when they get married, it gets better and better and better. That make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
What about if you don't grow up with it? So what happens then?
Then, you knew something wrong in your life. You heard me whatever way. I told you, repent, stop hating your parents, forgive them, and then God will draw you back in. And then, because once you love your earthly father, you then love God. You cannot love God or know God or hate your earthly father, right? So once he draw you back in, he'll start guiding you, and it'll be as though you have no past. He'll cleanse all that stuff out of you, and it'll be as though you never had a past or no future. You would just live.
And at that moment, you would know what's right and what's wrong? Or?
Yes, because if you doubt every thought, you have no other choice but to have faith. Adam doubted the truth, and by believing the lie, he fell into it. Now you doubt the lie, you can't help but believe Jesus. Believe the truth. And I heard a caller call James this morning and ask about Jesus. Jesus is inside of us too. We have God, the Son, and the Holy Spirit inside of us. And you'll come to know that when you're born again. And you will live by that. You would just naturally live by it without any effort at all. It would just naturally happen. Okay. And so when you're first born again, let's say you get mad about something, right? And you realize, wow, that was stupid. But don't judge yourself. and just apologize, hey, I was stupid, I shouldn't have yelled at you. And then it's all over. But if that person don't forgive you, fine. Let them suffer, but you'll be fine.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Yeah.
It's so nice the way to live, folks. We've been lied to. Christ came that we may be free and should have peace, and peace at all time. And if you don't listen to a thought or you don't judge yourself, you will always have peace. Just watch. When you listen to the thought, your peace is, you're going to feel whatever. Doubt every thought. Every thought is a lie. All right? All right? Last thing, what did your brother say after he left? How's he doing?
He's doing real well. He's kind of in between places to live right now, so that's kind of giving him a little bit of, uneasiness.
Yeah.
But he said that it was much needed, and he really enjoyed talking to you. And I asked him if he'd forgiven our mom yet, and he said, "No, not yet. I don't, whenever it's gonna happen,
Well,
it'll
just let him
happen."
suffer.
I did.
Yeah,
pretty
let him
much.
suffer. Amazing.
Yeah.
Good,
But
man.
he very much enjoyed it and
Good. Well, the
got a
seed-
lot out of
The seed been planted.
Amen,
The
yeah.
one thing I want to say to you, stop trying. And you guys are wasting your life, your time by trying. You can't do anything. You can't figure it out. You don't try to analyze it. Don't try to figure it out. Don't, whatever that man said about the blood and the cross, you can't figure that out.
Just be.
Yeah, and it'll be revealed to you. It
Yeah.
really will. You can't figure out the things of God. You can't figure out what the truth is. You can't figure out what someone said. If it's not revealed to you, you don't understand it. Accept that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know why Christ came. I understand what happened now. But when they used to tell me about the blood and the cross, I didn't know about no blood and the cross. It just scared me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then I went around talking about the blood. It was all in the blood, right? It was very important what Christ did, but it was very simple. He had a primary goal, a reason for what he did. And as a result of what he did, he turned everything back to order. And I'll tell you why, but we don't have time today. But really, all we have to do is repent, be born again, and live. Really. That's all you have to do. Stop trying to figure it out. Stop judging yourself. All right, do the silent prayer. Doubt every thought. He said, bring every, I think you mentioned, bring every thought into captivity. Every imagination into captivity. They are all lies about anything. You can go down to the market to buy some, whatever you buy, some salt at the market. He'll make you want to buy pepper. Oh, you need a little pepper with that salt. And you never wanted pepper. Or you look at the salt, and then you got to buy John Doe, Mary Alice, or healthy salt, or whatever salt. Now you're trying to figure out which salt, because he got involved. Rather than going in there and picking up some salt and going your way. Don't believe anything he has to say about anything. God's voice is a voiceless voice, is a revelation. Satan's voice talk to you. It sounds like you, it sounds like mama, it sounds like daddy, it sounds like that woman you went to her house. He's about God. Oh, God put a heavy burden on my heart. God didn't do that.
No, it wasn't. It was the devil.
The devil put that on your heart.
That's what I realized when I did the silent prayer.
Yeah. So anyway, we're absolutely out of time. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and I appreciate it all. Don't forget to do the silent prayer. Don't forget to, donate to the nonprofit. We need your support. As a matter of fact, James, they're trying to stop us again, right?
Yeah.
Let James have the mic. What happened to us again?
So now Facebook is not allowing us to stream video on their platform because of so-called hate speech violations by you.
And for them to stop me, I talk about forgiveness, about love, it's not about the race. I don't speak about hate, but they call that hate. Isn't that amazing? What it is, they want you to agree with evil. They want you to agree. That's what it's all about. So we've been blocked on Facebook, streaming live thing again. So But it's beautiful because we're all sticking together to make it happen, so it's fine. Don't forget to donate. We have shirts and all that kind of stuff. Any meetings, Ernest? No announcement today. And happy White History Month. And happy 4th of July. Oh, it's over. We have if you need counseling, we have the best counseling service on this side of heaven, all right? So give us a call, set up an appointment. Thank you all, too. This was fun today. It was absolutely amazing. Yeah. So we need your donations. I'm coming by. Joel coming by.